Hi, my name's Debbie, and I want to share a little bit about my journey for wellness and health with you today. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch, and hopefully this will help you like it's helped me. So growing up as a child, my parents always thought I was very sickly, and when I hit my teen years, I decided I needed to try to do something different. Even though my parents had pursued some various health trends throughout my childhood, I started out kind of behind the eight ball. And I started exercising when I was a teenager, became a vegan or vegetarian first, and then I became a vegan. And I realized even doing those things, my health still wasn't where I wanted it. And I decided to keep pursuing health and wellness. And I decided to take dietetics in college and became a dietitian. Appreciated what I learned about health in that, and realized at the same time that a lot of times we're just putting Band-Aids over symptoms. And I wasn't really exactly happy with that. I really wanted to get down to the crux of the matter, really wanted to find out what was causing disease and causing these issues that people were having, and help to prevent that, as well as helping to help them recover health and well-being at the same time. At the same time, I educated our 6 children, and that took a lot of time and a lot of energy. Part of my quest was put on hold, but constantly looking at different health items and health practices that might benefit me. When I turned 50, I realized that in spite of eating a vegan diet, living where the air is pure and clean, drinking filtered water, purified water, getting rest that I needed to get, all those things. I tried eating primarily raw foods and no processed foods. I realized that my health still wasn't where I wanted it to be. And at 50, I started to develop arrhythmias and heart palpitations. And that was on top of lung issues, which I'd had since I was a small child. Never diagnosed with any particular diagnosis, but always realizing that I was struggling to breathe and breathing just, not as deep as I could. So fast forward then a few years, and a patient of my husband's introduced him to Protandim. And right at first, he thought it was a scam, and I personally didn't have time for taking a look at it at that point in time. And I said, you take a look at it, you see what you think, which he did eventually. Even though he thought it was a scam, he thought, okay, just to, get this person to not keep bothering him about it, he would look at it. And at that point in time, when he did look at it, he thought, well, it looks like it might be something that would help Deb with her health. So he ordered a bottle. Then he came home and took a look at the science and spent about the next 3 or 4 hours looking at everything he could get his hands on as far as the science. And so then the next thing I knew, he was jumping in to be a distributor. And I went, okay, what is he doing? And I always like to be a supportive wife, and I needed to find out what he was doing. So I started to take a look at the science as well. At that point, I realized this is phenomenal. This is something that not only has the potential for benefiting my health, but has a potential for benefiting everybody's health. I became very excited about it, jumped in with him as far as sharing this with other people. But again, I looked at it purely from the scientific standpoint, having no expectations of any change that it would make in my life. I just thought, well, I'm already doing everything that I can possibly do to benefit my health, and this will be good cellularly and internally, but I didn't have, again, any expectations. So about 2 weeks after being on the Protandim NRF2, I started realizing that the arrhythmias that I was having, and I have about 3 episodes a week, and they'd last maybe 30 seconds. They started to escalate a little bit that 3rd week. began to panic a little bit, thinking, okay, what's happening? And talked to my husband about it. And he said, it's a cleansing response. And I went, okay, I'll just ride this out. The 4th week, the arrhythmias completely stopped. They've not come back in the 3.5 years that I've been on the product. And I, again, had no expectation, but I was ecstatic. I mean, it wasn't a major issue, but I knew that something was definitely wrong. And it's just so nice not to have that anymore. Then after about 3 years on that, the company came out with the NRF1 activator. And again, I looked at the science and I said, this is going to be incredible for people's health. This is just going to supercharge the NRF2. And I started taking it. Again, no expectations. After about 2 weeks on it, my husband and I exercise regularly. One of the things we do is we swim 3 times a week, open water in the ocean. And we do sprints, we do a pace program. And in one of those sprints, I took a breath of air, and I kid you not, it felt like it was bottomless. And it was such a foreign feeling that I stopped basically what I was doing to try to figure out what had happened. And it's been a remarkable, incredible journey to watch the wellness of my lungs, the health of my lungs, to change over the course of time. And I just wanted to share these things with you because I don't know what your issues may be, but I just want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to experience health and well-being in their lives. So thank you again for taking the time to watch, and here's to better health.